Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, there's this lingering idea that podcasting is still just two people in a basement, a couple of USB mics, a mess of cables, and, a dream.
Right. And for so long, the business model was just as simple.
Totally. You make some audio, you upload it, you cross your fingers and hope a sponsor sends you a check.
It was basically the digital lemonade stand. Charming, I guess, but not exactly a sophisticated business.
But that whole era, it feels like it's over. We've been looking at some new data, and the picture it paints is, well, it's completely different. We're diving into the Ad Energizer audio overview today, specifically their Ad Ops Roundup.
And it's not a lemonade stand anymore. It's more like industrial agriculture.
And that's a great way to put it. Ad Energizer has mapped out what they're calling the modern architectures of podcast monetization.
And that word architecture is really key here. It implies intention. You don't just stumble into money anymore. You have to build a structure for it.
And that's exactly our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack that architecture. We're looking at how this sort of starving artist model is being replaced.
It's a shift from a hobby into a genuine, sustainable business asset.
And for any creator out there, or even an investor, that's really the only thing that matters right now.
It's the difference between just having a show and actually running a media company. And Ad Energizer is, well, they're right at the forefront of helping publishers navigate this.
So let's start with the foundation of that architecture. The report kicks off with a trend called diversified revenue streams beyond ads. Now, on the surface, that just sounds like basic financial advice, right? Diversify.
Yeah, but the question is, why is it so urgent now? I mean, what's wrong with just reading ads for meal kits?
Exactly.
It's because that old model was incredibly fragile. For years, the whole industry pretty much relied on CPM-based advertising.
Cost per mil, or per 1,000 listeners.
Right, a pure volume game. So if your download numbers took a dip one month, poof, your revenue just vanished.
It's just such high-risk exposure. You're basically renting your audience out to sponsors.
And you're completely at the mercy of the market. So what Ad Energizer is pointing to is this shift toward building a revenue stack.
Okay, a revenue stack. So instead of one stream, you have 4 or 5.
Exactly, for stability. And the first, maybe most important pillar of that stack is moving listeners from being passive to being active supporters.
Which brings us to subscriptions and memberships, things like paid tiers on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But I want to drill down on the value exchange here. You can't just throw up a paywall and expect people to pay. We've seen that fail.
Oh, absolutely not. And the data shows the whole please support us angle. It has a pretty low ceiling. People get compassion fatigue. The successful model treats a subscription like a premium product. You're not just paying for the show, you're paying for the whole experience around it.
So ad-free listening is just the baseline then. That's the entry fee.
That's table stakes. The real drivers are access and community. So exclusive bonus episodes, AMAs, early access. If you're a real fan, getting that episode on a Monday when everyone else gets it on Wednesday, that's a status symbol. It moves you from the audience bucket into the community bucket.
There's a huge psychological difference there. An audience consumes, a community feels like it has ownership.
And ownership translates directly to recurring revenue. That's the magic phrase. Ad money goes up and down with the seasons. Subscriptions, they are stable, predictable. If you've got bills to pay, you want that subscription model.
The report also brings up platforms like Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee. Is that functionally different from the subscription on Spotify?
It's a little different. Crowdfunding often leans more on that personal connection. You're supporting the creator, the person. A subscription can feel more like a utility, but the end result is the same. Direct listener support.
It's the whole 1,000 True Fans idea, really.
In practice, yeah.
Okay, then we've got commerce, merchandise. But Ad Energizer makes a point here that I think is really crucial. They warn against just logo slapping.
Oh, yes. We've all seen it. The generic mug with the blurry logo.
Right.
Putting your podcast logo on a cheap tote bag isn't a commerce strategy. The trend they're seeing is products that are actually part of the show's identity.
So if you have a gardening podcast, you sell curated seed collections or something, not T-shirts.
Exactly. It has to be authentic. It has to solve a problem your listener actually has. That's where the real money is. And that connects right into the next pillar, affiliate marketing.
Which I feel like has a bit of a reputation problem. It can feel a little spammy.
It can be if it's done wrong, absolutely. But done right, it's actually a service to your listener. The currency you're spending is trust.
You're lending your reputation to a product, basically.
And cashing in some of that trust capital you've built. For mid-sized creators, affiliate deals are often way more efficient than big sponsorships because they convert so much better.
So the stack is ads, subscriptions, commerce, and affiliates. A whole portfolio.
And it all connects. The podcast drives the newsletter sells the merch gets people to the paid tier. It's a whole ecosystem.
But even with all this diversification, Ad Energizer makes it pretty clear that advertising is still the heavyweight champion, right?
Right.
It's still paying the biggest bills.
Oh, for sure. But the ad tech itself is getting a sci-fi upgrade.
We're not just reading scripts live anymore.
No, the days of the baked-in ad are numbered, at least for professional shows. We're in the era of programmatic and dynamic ad insertion.
Okay, let's pause and define that, because programmatic is one of those words everyone nods at but maybe doesn't fully get.
Think of it this way. In the old days, I record an ad for a mattress in 2020. That ad lives in that audio file forever. If you listen in 2026, you hear an ad for a sale that ended 6 years ago. It's wasted inventory.
And dynamic ad insertion, or DAI, fixes that.
It separates the content from the ads. So when you press play on a new episode or one from 5 years ago, the server stitches in a fresh ad right at that moment.
So your entire back catalog becomes valuable again. The content is evergreen, but the monetization is always current.
Precisely. And Programmatic takes it a step further. It automates the buying and selling of those ad slots. It's a real-time option happening in the milliseconds before the audio plays.
Wow. And that's where the data part gets really intense. Because to do that, the system needs to know who is listening.
And this is the next big trend in the Ad Energizer report: advanced advertising tech and data. The level of detail is getting wild. We're not just targeting people who like sports. We're targeting, like, females aged 30-40 in the Pacific Northwest who listen during their commute and have shown interest in financial services.
Which makes that ad slot way more valuable. The CPM for that person must be so much higher than for a generic listener.
Much higher, because there's less waste. And sponsors, especially in the B2B space, they need to prove ROI. They need to know their ad spend actually generated leads.
So we're seeing more tracking pixels and prefix URLs. Basically, the tech of the web is finally coming to audio.
For the creator, it's a game changer. You can justify your ad rates, you stop selling listeners, and you start selling prospects.
Speaking of tech, we have to talk about AI. The report calls out AI tools as a major trend, and it goes way beyond just writing show notes.
It's a production revolution. We're seeing AI used for ad creation itself. Think about a small show that can't afford a copywriter or a voice actor.
And it's not just scripting the ad, is it?
No. We're talking voice synthesis. A host can license a model of their voice to read programmatic ads. So it sounds like the host is reading it, but they never actually recorded it.
That is incredibly efficient.
Yeah.
But also a little uncanny. Listening to a robot clone of your favorite host selling you something?
It definitely crosses a new frontier. But think of the scale. You can generate 50 different versions of an ad, localized for every city, without recording 50 times. Then AI analytics can test which one performs best.
So it's A/B testing on a massive scale.
Exactly. The takeaway from Ad Energizer isn't just that the tools are cool, but that they democratize sophisticated monetization. A single person can run an ad operation that used to require a whole team.
I want to shift to the format itself for a minute, because for a medium called podcasting, literally named after an audio device, the biggest growth area seems to be, well, visual.
A vodcast, yes. The elephant in the room. Or maybe the camera in the room.
I know some audio purists hate this. They'll say if it has video, it's just a YouTube show.
They can say that, but the data Ad Energizer presents on the revenue side is just, you can't deny it. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. Ignoring it is like ignoring Google.
So it's about discovery.
It starts with discovery, but
Yeah.
financially it opens up what they call visual expansion.
Which means more than just putting the video on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. That's step one. But now you have YouTube's ad revenue. You have visual product placement. In audio, you have to describe the energy drink. In video, you just leave the can on the table.
It's extra real estate, extra inventory.
Huge inventory. And it gives you clips for TikTok and Instagram. Those clips become your marketing funnel back to the long-form audio or video. The video finds the audio retains them.
But isn't the barrier to entry so much higher? Audio's cheap. Video means cameras, lights, editing. It's a whole different skill set.
It is, and that's a real risk. The report does note that production friction goes way up. But for shows that are growing, the extra revenue layers usually justify the cost.
Okay, let's zoom out to the corporate angle. We've talked about independent creators, but trend, #6, is podcasts as strategic assets. This means big brands are getting into the game.
And not just as advertisers, this is a huge shift. Brands are launching their own shows now, but they're not doing it to sell ads. They don't care about CPM.
Seize the play. If they're not selling ads, why spend the money?
It's all about owned media. A cybersecurity company launches a podcast about hacking stories. They're not selling ads. They're positioning themselves as the thought leader in their field. They're building trust.
It's content marketing, just in a much more engaging format than a blog post.
Exactly. Ad Energizer outlines 3 goals here. 1, thought leadership. 2, lead generation. If you listen to the show, maybe you'll buy the software. And 3, integration into their bigger marketing campaigns.
So the ROI isn't ad revenue, it's a lower customer acquisition cost.
Correct. It's a much longer game, but the payoff can be huge. Think about the Michelin Guide. Is that a book publisher or a brilliant marketing strategy for a tire company?
It's both.
It's both. And podcasts are becoming that for all kinds of modern brands.
Which brings us right back to that word architecture. When you look at all these pieces together, the direct support, the smart tech, the video, it really is a construction project.
It's a 3-legged stool, really. Leg 1 is your community, direct support through subs and merch. Leg 2 is smart tech, AI and programmatic ads. And leg 3 is visual expansion, using video for growth.
And the thing holding it all together is data.
Data is the mortar and the bricks. You can't build any of this if you don't know who you're building it for. The Ad Energizer overview makes it so clear that the days of flying blind are just over.
So the big takeaway for a creator, or anyone in this space, is that the job description has changed. You're not just a host anymore.
Not at all. You're a media operator. You're managing a portfolio of assets. Audio, video, community, data. The creator economy is just becoming, well, the economy.
It's a little daunting, but also empowering. The bar is higher.
That the floor has been raised, too. A mid-sized, dedicated audience can generate a full-time income now. That really wasn't true 5 years ago.
That's a great place to land. But before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought that this Ad Energizer report starked for me.
Go on.
We're heading to a world where the ads are hyper-targeted to you. The content is shaped by AI to keep you engaged. The products sold are perfectly aligned with who you are.
The ultimate feedback loop.
Right. So if the commercial is just as relevant and entertaining as the show itself, and the show is funded by the brand, does the line between content and commerce eventually just disappear completely?
That is the billion-dollar question. If the value exchange is good enough, maybe the audience won't even care. But maintaining the trust that allows that to happen, that's the challenge for the next decade.
A huge thank you to Ad Energizer for providing the insights for today's discussion. The AdOps Roundup really does open the hood on how this whole engine works now.
It's a fascinating time to be in audio. The architecture is being built in real time.
And thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.